Welcome back to Man Cave Movie Night. Sorry we missed a week. We have all been very busy seeing Killers of the Flower Moon, which took up the entire week.
2 weeks.
A confession.
What?
I did not see it.
What?
You didn't spend 4 hours in the theaters to see Killers of the Flower Moon?
I didn't spend 4 hours in the theaters. At the time, I was thinking there are just so many other things that I could do.
Well,
You mean
yeah,
instead
there
of
are-
going? I'm
there are
gonna
plenty.
go this week because I've been peer pressured into it. But
You completed a third of Spider-Man 2's main campaign in the difference.
What?
You could have completed a third of
there you go.
Spider-Man 2's main campaign in the amount of time
could I have?
that you were not watching Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah,
Wow.
yesterday was daylight savings time. You could have used that 1 hour to watch 1/4 of that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wouldn't
you
that
could have
be
gone on
worth it?
4 1-hour bike rides in that same amount of time that you would have been at Killers of the Flower Moon.
I
You
live
could've-
at the north end of the city that I live in, and I could have walked from where I live to the very southern end of the city and then back to my home with probably time to spare.
In the time that you would have been watching that movie?
In the time
or
that I would have been
in
watching
the
that
1
movie.
hour?
You could have ran a brisk marathon.
That's true. Wow, yeah.
Well, I think I personally could have run 1 mile
in the 3.5, 4 hours.
in the 4 hours I would have
The
spent
4
in
hour
the
mile. I think they were saying it's not humanly possible for
run a
someone to
4
run a 4 hour
the 4
mile.
hour mile.
Yeah, the
don't-
4 hour
Too slow.
miles the time to
It's
be.
too fast.
Dude,
I think
you'd
that was some
have
sort of experiment they did a while ago.
have to crab. I bet you could crab walk a mile in under 4 hours.
I know.
Crab walk. Oh.
You could have watched
What?
the
I've
Lord of the
never
Rings
done.
extended edition. I mean the Return of the King extended edition.
Not
I
quite,
could
actually.
have.
That is 4 hours and 20 minutes. You could have watched most
You
of
could
it.
have watched
wow.
most of it,
All right.
and
yeah.
you would have been excited to finish it. I think
I would.
Yeah,
I
you
think
would have
I
wanted
would've
to.
You'd have still been
looking forward
engaged.
To the end.
Yeah.
That's
You-
true.
you could have built a pretty complicated Lego set.
Yeah. In about 4 hours. Yeah, totally. You could have.
I could have spent about $70 on a pinball machine,
You could have written that essay you keep saying you're going to write.
like on spending money to play the pinball machine.
Oh, I
not
see, I
purchasing
see.
a pinball machine.
I see.
You could have.
You could have ran out of ink and a pen.
I could have. On very aggressive use, I think I could have.
You could have watched Popstar Never Stop, Never Stopping 4 times.
That's only an
Is
hour.
it just 1 hour?
Not quite, but
Oh, okay, maybe 3 times.
yeah, 3.5.
Wow. I could have attempted the gallon milk challenge 4 times.
Yeah,
do you have an hour to do that? I thought it was like a
I
minute
think
to
so.
do that.
I think it's under
A minute?
You have to
No
drink
way.
a full gallon
You
of
think
milk.
you could drink? Okay, we've got a new gallon
60
challenge for
seconds?
Lucas.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
Badlands
Lucas,
chugs, bro?
drink 1 quart of milk in 1 minute. I dare you.
I could do that. A quart is like what, 16 ounces?
I don't know.
Too much for me.
No,
Nah.
there's no way.
No, yeah,
How many-
right? 32, 64? Well, no, 120 ounces?
How many
This
ounces?
That's
is
a gallon,
the
right?
3
120?
Americans attempt to convert volumetric measurements.
Oh, 128 divided by 4
I nailed that.
is what? 4. What? Oh, come on. Don't
This
give
is
me-
40
good listening.
128
42?
divided by 4 is what?
42?
Survey says 128 divided by 4.
No, it's 30.
There.
32? 32?
32, yeah, that's nothing. That's like 1 drink of
I said
No.
42, but I was joking.
32 ounces. All right, you know what? I
I
got
have an MBA.
this right here. This has
Whoa!
markings on the size of it.
this.
Let's see.
This, by the way, what Lucas is
Is,
referring to for our audio listener,
gallon
is
jug.
I would say a
Giant.
comically large, like
It's
water
one-
bottle.
It's 1 gallon.
That is
So,
the clown shoes
this
equivalent
is
of having
ounces.
a water bottle.
So we
How many-
determined it was what? How many? 32 ounces?
Yeah.
So 12 to 80. So I'd have to drink this much in a minute?
Yeah.
I could totally do that. I could do it right now.
No way.
I will do it right
That's
now.
a lot of milk.
No, you're
dude.
not going to do this.
Of water. Yeah, it's
I
fine.
kind of want to see you do it.
Yeah, I
It's
It's
really
kinda
not
do
that
too.
much.
we might have to do
Wait,
some editing in the
what's-
podcast to cut out you getting up and filling it up with milk. but I want to see.
I'm not gonna do milk. You said water.
I said milk.
Oh, I thought you said milk.
Hey, that's water. A lot of protein, though, right? Milk's got protein. Because cows gotta be strong.
That much. I
do you think you could do it with milk?
But I don't want to waste a whole quart.
Do you think you could do it with milk?
It's so heavy.
Hey, I know that's the point of what I'm saying.
Are we talking whole milk or are we talking 2%? Are we talking
whole
skim?
milk is what I got.
Whole milk, okay. You think you do?
Am I gonna drink this water?
Cold open has been.
Wait,
ruined.
That's not a quart. What you're saying? That's got to be a gallon.
This is a gallon. This whole thing. This is a quart.
I see.
112 to 80. That's about a
Yeah,
fourth.
you could do that.
Yeah, I can do this in a minute.
Of milk?
Of milk?
Milk? Yeah, totally. In a minute? 32 ounces.
Go get some milk.
I want to see it done.
That much, though.
That'd be kind of fun.
I don't want to waste milk, and then I'm going to feel
It's not a waste. You're drinking it. You're not pouring it on the ground.
I could drink 32 ounces of Zoa in a minute.
Oh, yeah. Facts. Yeah, facts.
Actually, I don't know about a minute.
Your heart couldn't, but you could.
Yeah. Yeah, your stomach could handle it.
Especially this late, that would be a terrible idea. So am I drinking this water or not?
Yeah, do it.
Well, I don't you can. It's not cool though.
32 ounces.
You got to drink it like Badlands chugs, though.
Well, to simulate that it's milk, you have to drink twice as much.
Why? That's a half a gallon of water. And
I know.
Here we go.
In 60 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do some commentary for our audio listeners. He is drinking water.
Strong. He's going strong.
He has the bottle up to his mouth, and he is drinking the water that is in the bottle.
You can see his throat gulping and gasping.
That's correct.
Not even close. Keep going.
Not even close. Let me...
I didn't put a timer on, but I think you're probably about halfway through at this point.
Also, oh my gosh, yeah, we talked about doing it in a minute.
Not a great sign to be burping.
I forgot
so
we
much
talked
water.
about doing it in 1 minute. Keep going, go faster.
Now imagine it's milk.
Go faster. Yeah, imagine it's creamy,
in your
delicious
mind's eye,
milk.
just use your mind to thicken it in your brain to the point of milk.
It's very hard to drink any amount of any fluid when you're laughing.
Any amount? Oh, when you're laughing.
Yeah, just
I think that's probably your time, Lucas. Oh, we'll give him one more. Oh. Okay. Oh, he's dripping a lot. He's dripping a lot.
Oh, he's pouring water all over his room at this point.
All right. That's about
Lucas was not able to do it, so the gallon challenge is something very different still.
I think it's possible, though. If you were to open your throat...
Well, that water bottle also doesn't really... It's got a pretty big limitation on how much is coming out and how much water can go in.
Yeah.
I'll say this. At the rate we're going...
I'm sure I could do it if I wasn't... There's so much water on me.
Lucas, at the rate we're going, I think you could maybe listen to half of this podcast with the amount of time it takes to watch Killers of the Flower Moon, because this will certainly be an 8-hour episode.
About that.
Yeah, I forgot we were recording, to be completely honest.
Yeah, speaking of which, let's go ahead and get right into the episode. Welcome back to Man Cave Movie Night, a podcast where we prove every week that we should not record this late. My name is Jared.
Lucas.
And I'm Niall.
And we're here not to talk to you about Killers of the Flower Moon, unfortunately, as that is a 3.5-hour film that exists.
It's a film.
And it is true that I did not see it. However, I am seeing it this week. I promise.
You're telling me you didn't take 4 hours out of your schedule to go see Martin Scorsese's most recent epic, Killers of the Flower Moon?
What could I have done during that time? Just kidding.
We already did that.
Yeah, on a good day, you could listen to 4 episodes of our podcast in that time.
On a bad day, 2.
We'll see about that.
One of the 10 o'clock episodes.
Yeah.
You never know how long it's going to be.
Well, guys, today I don't want to talk about that anymore. If Niall hasn't seen it, then why am I putting a Scorsese movie? Let's put a horror movie, I think.
What's a horror movie that you have in your selection?
I've got
Let's see what he pulls. He's going to put up...
A Quiet Place.
That works, yeah.
We didn't watch it.
Quiet
It's
Place
good. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't watch it. I don't have any of the movies.
I've noticed
we watched.
your Blu-ray collection is very meat and potatoes.
You kidding me?
You don't have anything.
There's not anything rare in
There's
there.
nothing rare in there, is what I mean by that.
Check this out.
Is that
Big.
rare?
That's not meat and potatoes.
That's not. Check this out.
That's
Sky
a fine
High.
pesto.
Oh, there you go. That's not meat and potatoes.
High.
Does it have like a
Check this out.
lenticular?
Yeah, it does. It's a
Nice.
foil. Paul Blart Mall Cop. You telling me this is meat and potatoes? Come
Sorry,
on, brother.
You're right.
I misjudged
You're right.
you.
You're
You're right.
right.
You're right.
Look at that. Talladega Nights, baby.
Unrated and uncut. I have that same DVD.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, Blu-ray.
Blu-ray.
Oh, that's a
thank you.
Blu-ray?
Blu-ray. Yeah,
I
these
have
are
it
all
on
Blu-rays.
DVD, which
I
is
don't-
more rare.
I don't have any DVDs anymore. It's too low quality.
I have a bunch
720p.
of DVDs, but I never use
Who
them.
watches something in 720p nowadays? Not me.
Look at this. I've even got that awkward moment.
What the heck is that?
I've
It's
never
one of
heard
the
that
worst
movie.
movies I've ever seen in my life.
Why do you own it?
Because it has Zac Efron,
Is Michael
Miles
B.
Teller,
Jordan
and
in
Michael
there?
B. Jordan. And I was like, well, I've got to watch that.
So
And
you
then
got
it was
to
garbage.
own it?
Well, it was in the bargain bin. Anyway, this is not what this episode's about, okay?
It's not digging through Jared's Blu-rays
No.
That could
I've
be a
already
fun
showed you-
Patreon episode.
Yeah, maybe it will be.
and my steelbooks.
Tier, doing
But
a
for
tier
now-
ranking of your Blu-rays.
That'd be fun. That'd be very fun. No, guys, gosh, come on, focus.
Sorry.
We're talking. Look, we just had a great autumn, a spectacular autumn season filled with movies that I've never seen before, that maybe you haven't seen before. Maybe you're rewatching them. But it was packed full of festive horror
Horrific.
movies or autumn, fall time movies or video games or books or whatever. And we didn't recap that on Halloween, which was
last week.
shame on us.
Which was
Shame
why we
on
didn't
us.
record. Sorry
Well,
about that.
Again,
Miss
on Halloween,
Halloween
I was
once.
watching
Shame
Killers
on
of the
you.
Flower Moon.
Which is just crazy Halloween activity.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I love that.
But this week, let's talk about it. Because I really would like to have an autumn spooktacular.
Yeah.
I would love
Well,
to do that too.
I want to tell you guys real quick. Those of you in the audience that know me probably don't even know this, but for my first time in my college career, I'm living in a neighborhood that's not like primarily student housing. So I was really excited for Halloween because I was
You're
like,
still in
I'm gonna
college?
have trick-or-treaters. Yeah, I'm still in college. I'm sorry.
Bro, I got through 18th grade already. Come on.
I'm sorry that I didn't do an easy major like film or econ.
God, what's your major
Anyway.
again? What's your major again?
Marketing,
Yeah,
the easier version
sorry.
of the econ major. But
The easier version of film.
I was
Yeah.
really excited to have trick or
That's what they
treaters
say.
come through.
Oh, that's
I got a bunch of candy. I had a party that I was going to at 8:30, so I figured I'll get some of the younger crowd, like between like 6 and 8:30. I feel like I'll probably have a bunch of trick or treaters. One time the doorbell rang in
Yeah.
the whole time that I was sitting there waiting. One singular time. I was so bummed.
I didn't even
But
think
then,
about that, honestly.
When I went to my
As we were
party,
asked.
I left a bowl outside. I got back, and it was mostly empty, which either means that a bunch of trick-or-treaters came by or one trick-or-treater
greedy-
came by.
One man was like, "Hey, free candy."
Ooh.
Neighbor left
So-
out free candy.
That was my squashed hopes for this Halloween. But the movies
Sorry, buddy.
that I watched and
Well-
the other entertainment that I consumed,
Can I tell you
And
my
good.
quick Halloween story?
I'd love
I
to
think
hear
it's
it.
kind of fun. I was all dressed up for Halloween. I went to work, got all dressed up. Everyone up in my department was dressed. It was very fun. Came back.
Are they usually not dressed?
They're usually undressed.
Yeah.
No, they're usually dressed in professional clothing. Now they were professionally dressed in unprofessional clothing.
Nice.
But I met up with a couple of our roommates, and we decided to go. You know, a couple of our Patreon subscribers. Shout out to Ian the Martin and Bridget
good-
Inkley.
and
If you want a shout out, go ahead and hang out with me on Halloween and subscribe to our Patreon. But we were like, let's go get some food. We're going to go see Killers of the Flower Moon later. It'd be fun to just kind of hang out. And so we decided, you know what? We're going to go get some Five Guys. A good burger before the show.
Halloween festivity.
Very fun. A very
Martin
Halloween
Scorsese movie.
Yeah, and we were all dressed up. We got in costume. Britton was the Batman from the Batman.
Sick.
And Ian was a clown, generic.
It was awesome, though. He looked so sexy.
Yeah, he looked awesome. And we all just went and had a good meal. Now,
what were you?
I was Marty McFly from Back to the Future.
Right on.
Part 2.
Back to the Future.
Part 2 specifically.
Oh, foil as well.
Yeah, foil as well.
That's meat and potatoes.
Yeah, it's the 25th anniversary edition, so...
Not as cool as the 30th anniversary.
Huge release.
It's better the 30th. I thought about
limited.
rebuying it for the 30th. Anyway, guys, come on. Focus up. We went to Five Guys, and Ian was like, this is totally a post-credits conversation, but we're doing it here anyway.
Yeah, it's fun.
He was like, hey, you guys want to split a fry? And I was like, let's do it. Let's get a large fry, split it, because the fries there are so expensive. Yeah. And so
but they're yum.
I told the cashier, I was like, hey, I want you to put as much as you legally are allowed to put in there. Okay? And he's like, all right. And he started typing in a custom order, as much as legally allowed. Okay? And he put that. It's on the receipt. And then I was like, hey, Jan, are we doing Cajun or just the regular fries? And he's like, just regular. I was like, have you tried the Cajun fries? They're pretty good. Now, are you a can of the Cajun fries?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love the Cajun fries.
Yeah, they're yum. They're good.
They're great. I don't get them every time, but oh, man.
They're good. Yeah, they're yum every now and again.
Have you tried them? Yeah, it's worth trying if you haven't. He's like, yeah, let's try it. And so we're like, yeah, let's make those Cajun. Okay? We finish all of our orders. We go and sit down. They call our numbers. We go up, and Ian grabs the bag. I mean, we're all expecting that to be the heaviest bag you've ever, picked up out of Five Guys. And he's like, nah, it feels pretty normal. We're like, huh, weird. Take it back, crack it open. We got our burgers out, and we get the fries out. And there is, the normal amount of fries you'd expect, but with just an insane amount of Cajun seasoning on it. And we're like, no.
Someone misread it.
And we looked at the receipt. And because of the order in which we did it, it says, fries large, as much as legally allowed Cajun. And so we are grabbing fries that are just with an inch of Cajun sauce.
Can't even see the fry.
You have to blow the Cajun sauce off and drench it in fry sauce just to not taste it as much. And so instead of ordering a ton of really good fries, we ordered some inedible fries.
It's a great story, though. It's so
funny.
Because the guy making those fries is so excited.
Okay.
Just nice, dude. This guy loves Cajun fries. He has the one thing to break up his otherwise dismal afternoon.
Here's the thing. We could have bottled up that Cajun seasoning and used it for the next year.
As much as legally allowed.
As much as legally allowed.
That is so funny. My Halloween, I was not with them, so I got to experience that story secondhand, which was hilarious. And I was at a haunted house. Actually, I went to 2 haunted houses on Halloween, which was unexpected. But the first one was free, which was really cool. And then the second one was at Fear Factory in Salt Lake City, which if you live in the Salt Lake area and you've never done it, I would highly recommend it. It is extremely fun. It's 45 minutes from beginning to end.
Wow.
It's super long.
And the line's only 4 hours long. You can go to Killers of the Flower Moon that time.
Last year a couple years ago, I went on Halloween as well.
So funny.
When I went this year, it was only a 20-minute wait. There was hardly anyone in line, so it was really nice. Wow. We went right in, had a nice fun time, and then that was it. Yeah, it was really cool. And you can pay an extra $2 to let them touch you.
To let them touch you?
Yeah.
No, I was going to say that as a joke. That's real?
No, that's real. Yeah. You put on
Why would you pay extra to have someone put their hands on you? Okay. I get why.
Now that you say it out loud.
Now that I say it.
Well, we were making the joke of we paid $4 at the whorehouse to let them touch us. But yeah, it was very fun. And when they can touch you, they can grab you and jump scare you a little bit more effectively, which was really fun.
Did you pay extra?
Yeah, we all did. It was really fun.
How did
And
they
it's like
know?
$2. You wear a glow stick around your neck.
Oh, and they're like, nah.
They're like, nah! It's nothing too aggressive, but it does enhance the experience, I would say.
That's good.
I would not pay the extra.
I know, you're scared, though.
Well, it's not that I'm scared. I hate haunted houses. I hate the
I
fact
don't,
that
yeah.
someone shows up in front of you and you
And
can't
they go,
walk past them. They're like,
Yeah.
like the loudest chainsaw I've ever heard. My ears hurt and I can't move past it. You kidding me?
Have you
That's
ever
a
been
bold
to a haunted house?
Me?
Have I ever?
Have you ever been to a haunted
Yeah.
house? Yeah.
That's what I just said.
Have you ever been
I grew up in a haunted
inside a
house.
haunted house? Like a real haunted house?
I don't like haunted houses
'Cause-
because they remind me of my childhood home.
Because we went to another that was a real haunted house, and there wasn't any chainsaw men in it.
Oh,
So you must
see,
not have
I'd
gone
go
to
to
the
a
right
real
one.
one. I'd go to a monster house. That's for sure.
Monster.
Oh, dude.
A monster
We
house
almost-
themed
we
haunted
were-
house.
We were inches away from watching Monster House on Halloween.
Oh,
night.
that'd be fun.
We
Would've
ended
been
up
fun.
watching a different
That's a great
film,
movie,
but
actually.
It's an awesome movie. I love it.
Well, I really like haunted houses, and so I had a lot of fun. And I'm
You're what? Dead air.
You know what I am?
Was
I
I
may-
was I
or
talking?
you know what I might be at this point? A fan of horror movies.
Oh,
I thought you were going to
'cause of
say
how many
I
you
am an
watched?
I am's dog.
I don't think he was
Yep.
going to say that.
So I watched, guys.
Episode sponsored by I am's.
My goal this Halloween season. This is the actual episode, so if you just skipped to this part, which I hope you did.
We're not
This
going to
season,
timestamp it, though. So.
Nope. I really wanted to make an effort to watch a lot of the horror classics I hadn't seen. Again, this is purely a desire to culture myself, right? I don't really care
Wise.
about like random horror movies here and there that come out, like a random 2018 flick that came out in February. I don't care. But I want to see the foundation. I want to get a respect and an appreciation for the horror movies that are quoted daily, right?
Yeah.
And so I reached out to my friend Lucas and I said, my boy, culture me. And he's like, nah. So I turned to Ian and Britton, who did that instead. No, I watched a lot of horror movies this season, and I'm going to list off all the classics I watched.
Let's hear them. First one we watched together?
The Exorcist.
Nice.
Nice.
And then I watched Misery, not really a horror, but very fun.
Yeah,
Got
sure it
some
is.
elements in
Yeah.
there. Yeah. That's what I watched on Halloween night.
Nice. Very good.
Oh,
one.
nice, yeah. I watched Rosemary's Baby, which
Great.
was a fun one.
Nice.
I watched The Menu, also kind of not really a horror,
Kind of thriller-ish.
a new thriller.
Yeah. Great, though.
watched-
I love that.
Alien.
Also
Nice.
great.
I watched Saw.
Nice.
I watched The Ritual from 2017, which we talked about in our Monsters episode. I watched The Fly, The Thing, Evil
watched that with you
Dead
guys.
2, and Army of Darkness. I watched The Babadook with Niall.
Oh.
Ooh, nice.
I watched Carrie, Halloween, and Aliens, which is
Nice.
kind of more of an action than a horror, but
Definitely. But
there
still
you
good.
go. Look at that.
Definitely a classic.
Good list.
I
bud.
hadn't seen any of those before. except
And
for
now you've
Alien.
seen all of them.
Now I've seen all of those.
Yeah,
So
that's good.
Pretty
I'm very,
cool.
very excited, first of all, to not watch another horror movie for a little bit because I'm tapped out. However,
It's not
I
even that
do-
many.
I know it was too many for me. But I
That's a
am
huge list.
I feel very proud and just kind of
Fulfilled.
like fulfilled exactly of being able to watch all of those. Like now when a Michael Myers thing comes up, I'm like, oh yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
that.
I've seen Halloween.
I've seen Halloween. I know.
He just, it was
He
good.
kills.
Nice.
I saw Saw. I know the jokes now. I know the little. I get the
Little-
reference of Jigsaw on the
You know
little
the man?
tricycle. Yeah,
Funny
I
little
got
brown
it.
guy.
Well, I guess
Yeah, he's
the
a funny guy.
the best question is, or the biggest question is, which one was your favorite out of all the ones you watched?
So this is okay. Of all of them I watched, the one that was my favorite was actually my least favorite, or the one I was least excited to watch. I went downstairs with the boys and I said, "All right, what are we watching tonight?" And they said this 2017 horror random movie that I never heard of called The Ritual. That one, I think because it was in the woods and it was, I don't know, like, it felt kind of almost fantasy-esque. The monster was very lore-based. It was very fun, and I loved that one. And again, I was going to leave. I was like, maybe I'll watch the first 10 minutes with you guys. But I don't care if it's not a classic. Yeah, and I got sucked in. So nice. I loved that one. The other one I really, really liked was Evil Dead 2.
Oh, yeah.
That Evil was just a really fun one to watch with you guys.
All-timer.
Yeah.
I love that one.
So yeah, I'd say those were my two favorites.
Good.
One that's more of a classic. I'd say Evil Dead 2 is a classic.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was kind of my horror update.
Your horror experience?
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. Well,
pretty good.
I actually watched The Babadook and Carrie as well for the first time, but not with Jared.
You hadn't seen The Babadook before?
I had never seen The Babadook.
For some reason, I thought we had talked about it. Interesting.
And we have talked about it because you brought it up a few times how much you like it, but I had never seen it in any of those interactions. But I will say I really, really liked it until the very end when I thought it was pretty silly. I thought the ending was not very good at all of The Babadook.
No, you're wrong.
I think it's just way too on the nose. It's like, hey guys, the real monster was the friends we make along the way. And I'm like, come on, like we get it. Like, I don't know. I thought I just took it a little bit too far with that. But otherwise, I thought it was really genuinely good up until the very end with the basement thing. I was like, come on, do we really need to be so literal about this? But that's fine.
Well, how would you? We'll talk about this.
I just
later.
would have ended it without the basement.
I'd be interested to.
Without the worms and stuff. I think that's what it means.
Yeah,
you'd still have it go to the basement?
No, I wouldn't have had it in the basement at all.
Just leave the house.
Just like be more ambiguous. Like not literally have. Well, because the whole idea, right, is that it's like, oh, you know. I don't want to spoil. Yeah, I guess spoilers for the Babadook. It's like the idea that it's like her emotions and her
grief.
Yeah, her grief,
yeah,
exactly.
Her grief.
And so I feel like that was pretty, well conveyed throughout the rest of the movie, and then still keeping the Babadook as a pet that is like, actively trying to kill them throughout the movie. Then it takes the metaphor. It's too literal at that point. Then it's like, oh yeah, well, you have to keep your grief locked away, and you have to feed it sometimes, and it's like,
well, it's like you have to live with it.
You have to live with it. Yeah,
you have to live with the grief.
I don't know.
Can't get rid of the Babadook.
Yeah, and that's it. It said that at the beginning, man. Come on.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just I forgot I'm not allowed to have a dissenting opinion, but I didn't. I would not have gone that far with the very end. Otherwise, I thought it was really good.
I see what you're saying, and I've heard other people that have the same opinion. I just think that it's wrong.
One thing I will say about that movie as well, that William Friedkin, the guy who directed The Exorcist, said it was one of the scariest movies he's ever watched, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I've had an interesting experience with that movie where I've shown it to a lot of people, seen that movie a lot of times in my day, and it really feels like a 50-50 split of people that either say that was the scariest movie I've ever seen, or oh, all right.
Just like indifference.
Like, okay, cool.
Yeah. I did really.
In the middle of that.
I thought it was scary. Like I genuinely was scared by it, and I thought it was really well made and great until the very end. That was the only part about it.
I mean,
what else did you watch?
Compared to some of these 70s movies that I've watched, it was definitely very scary to me.
Yeah.
And the other thing is when I'm watching it with some of the friends in Provo, we just kind of like poke fun at it or like kind of talk throughout it, and that is 100% my defense mechanism from being scared. Is I'm like, ha ha ha, joke, ha ha ha, because I'm terrified.
Yeah.
And then when we watched it with you, Niall, like there's a lot of respect I know that you have for the movie, so I'm like, well, I can't say anything, and that is making it way worse to watch. I am so scared.
Yeah, no, it's
but I'm sure you wouldn't have appreciated me making jokes throughout.
I would have been fine.
Okay, I was like, man, if I say
Yeah, well,
something-
that's what we did with El Orfanado, was just poke
El
fun of that.
Orfanado.
But I did
Yeah.
like that one a lot.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
many rules.
Let's
Yeah.
see. I rewatched Us, which I liked a lot more on the rewatch. It
I
had been a while
love
since
that
I watched
movie.
that. I like that one. The Taking of Deborah Logan, which is one that's like not super popular, but I enjoyed. I thought it was pretty scary. It was like kind of an exorcist, not exorcist. It was like a possession type horror movie. Pearl as well, which is the X prequel movie that they shot
I've
at the
heard
same
about
time.
both of those movies.
X I liked more, but Pearl I did still enjoy as well. I thought it was good.
She was just cast in something, right?
Mia
Frankenstein.
Goth. Yep, she's going to be in
Yeah.
Frankenstein. She's going to be the bride in Frankenstein. And then
That's
Oscar
sweet.
Isaac is going to be the monster, and Andrew Garfield is going to be Victor Frankenstein.
Whack.
So it's going to be very interesting.
Weird.
Directed by Guillermo del Toro. So
Look accurate.
I
Exactly.
am very excited to watch that. Yeah.
That's exactly the casting we predicted. If you go back and listen to our Monsters episode,
Yep.
I promise that's in there.
Yeah. I'm very excited. I'm excited. He said that's the movie he's wanted to make his whole life, and so I think that it will be very cool to see it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, everything else I watched was pretty much everything Jared watched. So
Pretty meat and potatoes.
I was a busy boy this month, but I did get some good horror movies in.
I didn't watch very much because I don't live with people who are doing horror movies, and it's not usually something that I'm.
You go out of your
inspired
way to
do
watch on your
alone.
own. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did watch The Thing when I was down hanging out with you guys, which I hadn't seen, which was just a blast.
I love The
Yeah.
Thing. It's so good.
I watched Over the Garden Wall, which has been recommended to me yearly since it came out.
So good.
Yeah.
And I finally got around to watching it, and I just loved it. I had a great time with that.
Can I ask some follow-up questions? Because I really want to know.
Sure.
What's
Yeah, go for it.
what was like your favorite episode? Because there's a lot of different little mini,
Yeah.
like, it's like milestones in this journey, or
Totally.
little events that happen throughout. Did you have
Totally.
a favorite
I
part
really
of it, or-
liked just the first episode. I thought that was a really cool way to just kind of set it up where you're like, okay, it really, I love the feeling of just kind of like, okay, we're in this and it's happening.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah.
catch up, it's going.
And then they explain it later.
And like,
which-
yeah, it's like one of the last episodes shows kind of how it began. And I'm like, I'm so glad that it didn't start with this, you know,
Yeah.
like, because that episode would not have been my favorite episode if it was at the beginning. But I do think that episode where they show kind of everything before,
Yeah.
even though it's not like the mystical, magical stuff that's in all the other episodes, there's just so much in that episode that I just really connected to personally. And I was like, that was the point where it turned into, like, it was something fun that I'm watching. And then that episode happened and I was like, oh, this is something that I like really care about, you know? So I think that was my spot. In terms of like mystical, you know, more goofy type stuff, the tavern that they go to where everybody
the
is talking about
highwayman.
what they are and like, who
Yeah.
are you? I thought that was great.
Oh,
there were
you're
tons
the
of
young
moments in
lover.
that yeah, they made me laugh and it got a little spooky and I loved it. I thought that episode ruled.
Is that the one where they're pumpkin?
No,
that's-
the pumpkin
that's
one is my
the-
favorite.
Yeah, that one's
I love
so
the
good.
pumpkin one too. That one was really cool.
I rewatched.
I
it,
liked them all.
Yeah.
I rewatched
They
it
meet
with
the
my
horse.
mom or my dad and my sister, and it's so good. I love it so much. It's just so like
Yep.
it's just the perfect fall thing. Like it's just
Yep.
such a fun environment that it creates. I love
So
it.
it's not too late if you haven't seen it.
Yeah,
and
no,
you Still
totally.
are looking
It's-
for something
it's-
for
Oh, yeah.
your autumn watch list.
still the perfect time.
Throw it on there. It's so great.
Do it.
Yep.
I turned my little TV black lights to an orangish yellow, and I sat down and had a bucket of popcorn and watched the whole thing. It was
It's
great.
quick.
In your mega
You
tub?
could-
In my mega tub.
Was it
You
mega
could
tub?
watch
popcorn?
it twice in the time it would take you to watch Killers of the Flower Moon.
Almost
watch it
2.5 times. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is not very
Well,
long.
I loved that. I watched on Halloween Day. I watched the Bono Peter and the Wolf thing that he
Okay.
just
The
produced.
recent thing?
Yeah, it's on Max. It came out this year, and I love Peter and the Wolf.
Was
and
it
I watched it. and it was
Animated
great.
or
Yeah, it's like weird animation.
is it like short?
Yeah, it was like 25 minutes.
Nice. That's fun. I like
So
that.
I
old
watched
Peter and
that.
the Wolf.
had a good time with it.
You watched that once instead of Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah,
At least the
exactly.
sixth of Killers of the Flower Moon.
I watched...
Eighth.
So Halloween Day, I actually
yeah.
did watch quite a lot. I sat down and I watched Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Oh, so good.
Great.
I watched that Peter and the Wolf thing. I watched Skinamarink alone.
Oh, how was that? I've heard it's good.
What that?
It was a lot of fun. It is an analog horror movie that came out earlier this year that I didn't know was an analog horror movie until the opening scene ended when the movie ended. The whole thing feels like exposition, but
nice.
you start kind of settling into it, and it creates a very, very cool environment. The protagonists, you basically never see their faces. It's almost entirely just like static shots of like an old like home film camera, or at least designed to look like an old home film camera, just like set on the ground, focusing on like a doorway or something. And you'll see like just the kids' like feet walk by, or just creepy stuff like that. There's a couple of jump scares in there that were really good. There was a sequence right at the end that I had like my blanket up to my face, and I was just like, oh, I don't want to watch this. Like, it did spook me quite a bit.
Nice.
And then it ended up not actually being that scary of a sequence when it all was said and done. But
When they were Skinamarink.
That's like the craziest spread on Letterboxd I've seen.
yeah,
It's like pretty much
I went on
even
Letterboxd and I was
all
like,
the way
it's
across.
just a straight line.
Yeah.
I also
Last Jedi has a similar spread too, actually.
the
Last Jedi's bad,
explanation,
so-
like the little summary on Letterboxd and on IMDb, everything, like the log line basically is just inaccurate. That's not what the movie is.
Interesting.
It's like this boy and girl get scared when all of the doors and windows in their house disappear, and it's like that is like that's just not the premise of the movie.
That's funny.
Like
when it's just
it's
totally
kind of a
inaccurate.
thing that kind of happens, but
It's
not
a thing
really
that
what the
happens.
movie is even kind of about.
That's funny.
So, yeah, but I really enjoyed that. And then that night I went and watched Misery with my friends, which was just so much fun. We had a
That
friend
is such a
there
good
who is
movie.
not really into horror movies, doesn't like a lot more kind of intense movies. So we were like, what's a scary movie that we can watch that is scary but isn't like gonna ruin this girl's life? And we landed on Misery, and then she was angry with us by the end of it because it was too intense.
No way. Come on.
I
That is
don't
like
know,
so tame.
The leg scene, dude.
The
that's
leg scene and all that
woofy.
stuff. I was like, while we were watching it, there were a couple of sequences where I was like, oh, this is a little more
It's
intense than I remember it being.
some very
but-
Stephen King
so
stuff in
good.
it as well.
yeah, but it's phenomenal.
yeah.
I love it. So, the other thing that I did in the week leading up to Halloween was I played Arkham Knight on the Xbox again.
Ooh.
I'm still actually like 1 or 2 missions away from finishing the story. But that game takes place on Halloween night, very similarly to the Batman film. And so I was kind of like, you know what? This will be kind of a fun thing for me to do just every now and then over the week. So I've been playing that and just remembering that, oh, that game rules. It's so good.
Do you like it more than
So-
Arkham City?
I've been pondering this recently. I think I
Interesting.
need to replay Arkham City again before I form a solid opinion, but I really do. I think I do like Arkham Knight more,
Interesting.
Cool.
That's a hot take.
which is it's an unpopular opinion, but oh man, the story is just, and like people were like, oh, it was predictable. Like they basically spoon fed you who the Arkham Knight was, and I'm like, yeah, but the story is so good. Like it doesn't
Batman
matter if
not
you
the
can
Arkham
predict it. It's
No, it's a
there's
villain.
a villain who is self-proclaimed the Arkham Knight, and the whole thing is like, who is the Arkham Knight? You know.
And it's
And it's
Batman.
like if you're a
It's Venom.
if you're a Batman nerd,
you know who it is immediately,
is.
yeah.
The first time I played it, I really didn't know tons of lore, so I was fully surprised. I was like, "Oh, whoa, that's crazy!" You know, like I thought it was great, and I don't know, it was really fun. I adore that game. I think that the way they handle the Joker's existence in that game is one of the coolest things they did in any of the games.
Is he
like, by a long shot?
in it? Doesn't
He's in it to a significant degree.
Cool.
Have you played Arkham Knight?
No, I haven't. I was gonna say, doesn't he die in Arkham City?
He dies at the end of Arkham City. Are you ever gonna play Arkham Knight?
I own it on Steam, but I got it for like $1, so I would like to eventually play it. But...
You should play it, and if there's even a chance, I don't want to tell you how he's in it.
I'll just
because
I'll just play it.
His role in that game is the best part of the game.
Is it still voiced by Mark Hamill?
Batman?
Still voiced by Mark Hamill. It's a whole thing. It's really kind of an excellent way to keep him involved in the series.
Because he's Batman?
Yeah,
Because
Joker's
he's Batman.
Batman. That would be
They opted
so
for a
cool.
skinny, green-haired Batman.
That's good.
That's my favorite part about what Batman is.
That's fun. That's
The
a good
skinny
way
and
to
green hair.
prime yourself for Halloween.
So
Yeah, I thought it would be fun to play a game that's not like scary, but something that I can really get involved in and still kind of feel the Halloween vibes. And it was great.
So as we're talking about like Halloween movies and horror movies and things like that, we got to talk about Thanksgiving movies because fall is just beginning, and you may be reacting like, well, Thanksgiving movie, what the heck is even that?
There's some
That's
weird
exactly
like
what I'm
old
thinking.
culturally insensitive like John Wayne movies we could watch.
Maybe, but I've got a few that, if not Thanksgiving specific, they are very fall adjacent and therefore or autumn adjacent, depending on the part of the world you live in, that are great to watch. And one of these movies is the 2002 film Spider-Man 1, because
Thanksgiving
they have
movie.
Thanksgiving. It is a
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving movie. They eat Thanksgiving together in
There's the
Peter and
Macy's
Harry's-
Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yep, there's a ton of Thanksgiving
which
stuff.
is the Unity Day festival,
Yeah.
but we all know
What
what
we
it
all
is.
know.
Yeah, come on.
Macy's was like, no, we're not letting you use our name, and they were like, okay, fine.
How about I do anyways?
Yeah. So that is a great one. Another great one that's like very fall adjacent, not quite Thanksgiving, but Knives Out is very much like everyone's wearing sweaters, but not
Yeah,
coats.
he wears the sweater.
It's like kind of the fall colors, the fall fog. Very good one. A movie
Is
that
this
you.
your question?
No, I'm just suggesting some.
No, he's just
and then I'll
listing
let
stuff
you guys
off.
some. This next one, I guarantee you will not, because you probably have
Lord of
never
the
seen
Rings.
it. Lord of the Rings
of
is
the
great
Rings.
too, actually.
They all come together and they eat food.
Yep.
And they're very thankful in the end.
And
The
they are
Hobbit,
very
they
The
all come
Hobbit,
together and they
that's a
eat
great
food.
one too. The one I was going to suggest is a Thanksgiving movie. It is called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It is a Steve Martin,
yeah.
John Candy movie from the 80s. Hilarious.
Old classic.
Really,
Old
really
reliable.
good. It's got a lot of people who are in other John Hughes movies, like the mom in Home Alone and John Candy, who is in all of or a lot of John Hughes movies before he died. They both died. But that is neither here nor there because that movie is great. So Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, great Thanksgiving comedy if you're looking for something. And then I'll pass it off to you guys if you have other movies, because I don't
I think
want to
Boss
take too
Baby
many.
2 is a Thanksgiving movie.
Well, there's a little too much violence for me to fully recommend it.
It's not really a family friendly.
It's not, yeah.
No,
yeah.
that's
It's not
leave your kids at
heartwarming,
home.
but
I'll say one. I mean, it really gives fall vibes. I think there are some shots that are very, very fall, and that's When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's a
it
great
ends
example.
more of like a
Excellent.
New Year's movie.
Yeah.
but we'll count it as
That's
a
a good example,
Thanksgiving
actually.
as well. That's an every
answer.
season movie.
I like it.
Another one, of course, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
yes.
There's
Great
plenty
answer.
of dining. It's definitely a fall palette as far as the colors go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just definitely, it's about family. It's about being thankful and grateful for what you have and not really what you want outside of that. It's really it'd be a great Thanksgiving movie. So check that one out.
Yep.
Love it.
The we were just talking about something I was going to say, but another one that has Thanksgiving in it,
Which is
or
all that matters, right?
which is it
Cold
doesn't
Mall
have
Cop.
to. It doesn't have to have Thanksgiving in it. I would say for
Pub Lark Mall Cop has Thanksgiving in it.
does it actually?
Yeah, it's a Black Friday movie. So there's the Thanksgiving dinner where he's
you're
eating
right,
with his
of
mom and his
course.
daughter.
That movie's
And then the whole heist happens Black Friday.
movie's not very good.
You're wrong.
But there's a
You're
movie.
wrong.
There's a movie called Thanksgiving actually coming out this year, which is a Thanksgiving horror
Yeah, it's
movie.
gonna suck.
It's gonna suck, but I'll probably watch it just because I think it's a fun idea to make a Thanksgiving horror movie, and the fact that there has not been one is kind of wild. But The Witch, if you're
Is it?
still in the,
Is it?
yeah, I think it's fun. You know that we have Halloween.
Is it wild? Is it wild?
It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild. You know, there's so many.
It's a little wild.
It's a little wild.
But if you're looking for more horror movies that are kind of fall adjacent, like themed, The Witch is a good one. I would recommend. Very much, fall weather type movie, and also it's excellent. So if you're cool and good and not lame and bad like Jared, who doesn't want to watch horror movies anymore, then you could watch more with The Witch, which is one of my favorite. Chicken Run.
Nobody's gonna know what you're talking about. It's called The Vivitch.
The Vivitch. Sorry, yeah, The Vivitch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chicken Run.
Chicken Run. Prisoners, I guess, also has a Thanksgiving scene, which I
There's
forgot
two
about.
more Thanksgiving movies.
Honk.
Talladega Nights.
Oh, Talladega Nights Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then Hook. They have the meal, the giant meal with the imaginary food.
Yep. And Harry Potter as well.
Not technically Thanksgiving, but they nod at Thanksgiving a lot during it.
Little subtle Thanksgiving references.
Yeah, if you
only for the keen eye to see and notice.
Only for the real Thanksgiving fans.
Exactly.
You know what? I was going to ask what we're all thankful for, but I guess we're probably going to have a Thanksgiving episode, so we can hold off.
Are we going to have a Thanksgiving episode?
Thanksgiving episode.
Why wouldn't we? We're always grasping at straws. We're desperately trying to figure out what our theme is going to be.
It's going to be...
We're thankful for.
We got we got the Marvels next week. We got Loki season 2. We got so many content things we could... I could finish... I need to finish Death Note.
When I become an artist, I hope that people refer to my work as content things.
When you become famous, you want them to refer.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Niall Thorley and his content things?
That's a good band.
Yeah. Niall Thorley and his content things.
Whoa, the little waveform of my laugh looked like a fish.
I don't believe that even for a single second.
Okay.
Anyway, do we have anything else about fall we want to talk about? Or our general Halloween wrap-up? Horror
Life
movies?
Alert is good if you fall.
Oh.
There's my bad joke.
That's not even a joke. It's just
That's just
a fact.
Thing.
Well, yeah, but you asked about fall things. Did you not put that? Did you think I was just bringing up Life Alert?
I thought you were just bringing up Life Alert. Taskmaster is kind of fall-ish. They kind of film it around the fall season.
In what way?
The weather is a little bit fall, but that's just because
true.
England weather is like that all the time. And so for us
Hereditary is a good fall movie.
That's true.
You see the trees get progressively more red and yellow through the movie.
Definitely more red. Because blood.
Yep. Yeah. I feel like we've run out of things
We've run out of things to say about the fall autumn season
Half of
Spooktacular.
this episode is just us rambling, but
But that's
guys,
fun. Hey, at least we content.
yeah,
At least we
At
content.
least we made a
true.
content thing.
at least we made a content thing for Niall.
Thanks.
Because next week
Guys.
we got the Marvels. We just were ramping up to that, really. Because we're all going to go see it
Are
midnight.
you
This
going
is
to
a-
go see it?
This is
We're
a
gonna go
stalling
see it.
episode before we go to the Marvels. I'm going to the Marvels.
Yeah, why not?
Freaking Thursday night. Just kidding. I'm going to a concert Thursday night. But Friday night,
Friday morning.
I'll be there.
Friday morning beat.
Friday morning, yeah. I'm getting the
Matinee tickets.
matinee.
For the Marvel.
Go to see the Marvels at 10 a.m.
Honestly, I bet when you go see it Friday night, there will be just as many people as
There
if
in
you
the
had
theater.
gone
Yep.
in Friday morning. There is
be a bear
zero
in the
buzz
theater.
about this movie. I think it will flop.
People don't know it's coming
People
out.
don't know it's coming out or care.
Yeah.
But hey, Marvel's back,
because they
baby.
didn't see the teaser with Intergalactic.
Yeah.
Intergalactic,
They forgot about how Beastie Boys.
planetary,
You know who did see
planetary, intergalactic.
the Intergalactic teaser?
Our patrons?
Special? Niall's mom, Kel.
Oh, Cal.
Yeah, she did. I don't know if she literally,
might have.
in reality, did.
In theory, she did.
If she's seen
But
a movie.
for the purposes of segues, she certainly did. And you know who wants to give a shout out to her?
Who?
This guy.
Me.
And these two guys on the call with me, and
Shout
also
out to Cal.
the following: Nick Bell, Michael Polonsic, Easy Law, Britton Inkley, Riley Allen, Ian James Martin, and Hannah Steed.
Yo.
These are the people that are shouting out Kel, who is my mom, who is really just supported day to day by having shout outs from this podcast. If you want to support my mother and you don't want to contribute to the problem, then you
Which is not shouting
can support us on Patreon. It's $3 a month, and you get to give a shout out to Kel literally every single episode that we post.
Mm-hmm.
And you get access to bonus episodes that are called post-credits episodes, where we talk about kind of the stuff that we talked about
really
100% of this episode.
This is a post-credits episode. I don't know if
I don't know what we're going to do on the post-credits.
Yeah, because we've just been talking.
This is a post-credits. Yeah.
Yeah, but
so if you like this,
it's a lot of fun on
dollars.
there. I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna start sharing just kind of funny like memes and reels that I find onto the Patreon.
Smart.
Because I also want to bring them up when I'm watching things with like when we're recording them. I want to show you guys stuff, and then like let people know what it is. So. I think that's going to be my new contribution to the Patreon.
Fun.
These guys are always contributing to that stuff. It's just fun. It's dang fun. So get on over there and join us, please. We would appreciate it.
And we love you.
And we appreciate you. And shout out to Kel from the people.
If you don't want to join us on Patreon, that's totally fine. Please go ahead and give our podcast a good rating. Share it with someone who has seen a fall movie or someone you're excited to watch.
Tag your friend and your favorite fall movie.
At
someone you're excited to watch a Thanksgiving movie with. And while you do that, we're going to leave. And we'll see you on another episode of Man Cave Movie Night. On another Man Cave Movie Night Monday.
Yay! Night-night. Goodbye, Bazinga.
Bye.